Hello, sixth grade. Today what we're going to do is we are going to make a color wheel out of colors we find in a magazine. Okay, so I've got an old magazine here from way back when that I'm going to use for this. You guys, you can use like things you get in the mail, like magazines for like Kohl's or things like that. So chances are you have something at your house that you could use to cut up. Your parents aren't going to care, but please make sure you ask first to be able to find these colors. Because what's kind of fun is there are all those colors we talked about earlier inside these magazines. So what I did to make this a little bit easier, I want to find my colors to begin with. And to do that, I'm going to kind of give a demonstration of kind of where to look, what to look for, which ones are kind of tricky to find. But you can see I went ahead and I printed this out. You don't have to do this, but I got my primary colors, secondary colors, and then finally my tertiaries. I'm going to use this to kind of help me gauge where I'm going to put things. So, just taking a look here, guys, kind of opening this up and kind of finding where I could find colors. Well, first and foremost, one thing I do see, look at this. On the top of this car here, 42 Lee Petty, I've got my red. So I think that'd be kind of a cool color to use. Now, I always tell kids too, when you find these shapes, make sure that they are big enough. You don't want to have anything too small. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take that, I'm going to put that over on top of my red. So I got my red taken care of. This just kind of keeps things a little more organized, you guys, which is kind of nice. If you want to write down some of the colors, you can. Ooh, look at this here. Grass is always a great opportunity to get some lime green. All right, I wouldn't say call this green. I would call this, what would it be? Oh, yellow green. That's my yellow green right there. All right, so that looks pretty good there. Oh boy, we're moving along. Ooh, actually, look at this helmet. This is kind of a nice, let's see if you guys can show you guys this here. This is kind of a nice example of, oh, I'm losing my yellow green here. Of a orange, red orange, okay? Look at that. Red orange is usually hard to find too, so I'm glad I found that one. That's pretty good. All right, so I've got there. So what I'm gonna do is this, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pause it real quick. I'm gonna see if I can find some of these other colors, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, well, I'm back. I found most of them. I think I'm just missing one, which is okay. Ironically, the hardest ones to find were the secondary colors, but I think I kind of narrowed it down. So I've got my colors right here. Now, what I'm gonna do next is this. On my sheet of paper that I have right here, I want to trace out a circle. So to do this, what I'm going to do is I want to grab something circular in the house. I just happen to pick up a roll of tape. Perfect. All right, a little bit bigger. If you got like a nice big cup, a little bigger bowl, you could go ahead and use that. But I'm just going to go ahead and trace this out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to be making a magazine color wheel out of this. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of clean it up a little bit. Now, next thing I want to do is this, you guys. I want to go ahead. I want to put in my color wheel. Now, I always start with yellow at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and put my yellow up there. I'm going to label that. I usually say, too, if you go ahead and you think about a triangle shape within here, a isosceles triangle, all angles are the same. You got your blue down here. All right, got my red here. Remember, those are my primary colors. Directly across from yellow is purple. Across from blue is orange. Across from red is green. All right, now in between here, I'm just going to abbreviate these. This is going to be yellow-green. This is going to be yellow-orange. This is going to be red-orange. It's going to be red-purple, blue-purple. Oops, got to move that around a little bit. And then finally blue-green. Okay. Now, once you have your colors, and you can do this beforehand too, and then start looking them for the magazine, but once you have them on here, guys, then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my primary colors in to begin with. Now, you guys, I have these, they're kind of roughly cut out shapes. So I want to go ahead, I want to kind of refine them a little bit. If you can cut them out nicely by hand, that's great. Otherwise, find something to trace. I happen to actually have a circle stencil here, which is kind of cool. I'm going to see if I can use this. Actually, I think I can use that size right there because I think they'll look nice. So I'm just going to go ahead, pick this size circle, trace it out. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. Now, trusting everybody's got a pair of scissors at home. And you got some way of attaching this to your, oopsies, color wheel. I forgot sometimes circles are a little bit hard to cut out. All right. Maybe a square would have been easier. Okay, boom. So I've got this. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I got some glue sticks here. Elmer's glue is fine. Even put a little piece of tape on the back. take a photo of this, even if it falls apart later, that's fine. As long as you got a photo of it documenting it, that's perfectly all right. But I'm going to take it, this is my yellow, and I'm just going to put it right up here. Now I don't even have to erase the yellow because it just covers it up. Okay, so I've got that. That's the first one. Then I'm going to go ahead and go down to my blue, take my blue, put that in here as well. Now, the big thing to keep in mind, and I always told the kids this too, is when you do these shapes, or you should say you do these colors, you got to see a transition. You got to see a change from one to the other. Okay, you can't go in here and say, well, my blue looks more blue purple than my blue purple and stuff like that. So if you just can't quite get it to look just right, you may have to search for something else. Boy, these circles are kind of a dickens to cut here. There we go. That's pretty good. That'll work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, you're just going to keep going and getting them all filled in. All right, boom. So I got that right there. I'm just going to put the blue, boom, right there. And it's okay to have letters and words and whatnot on here. In fact, this one right here, this is going to be my yellow-orange, okay? And that's actually a floor of a basketball court. So, I mean, there's a lot of really kind of interesting things you can find out there. Like I said, you want to find all 12, get them cut out, make it look nice, glue it down. When you get it done, get a nice photo of it and make sure you submit it. And this will be our next project. You'll be probably spending a couple days working on this, guys, to make it look good. So take your time. Don't be in such a rush. And that will pretty much finish up our color wheel lesson. Okay? Good luck, you guys. Can't wait to see what you create.